This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Forest River Salem model 32BH DS. Alright, so let's go down here to the rear. And the first thing we'll notice is that it has a quick connect LP fitting there to hook up your a grill or a cooktop or a griddle, whatever you have. I'm sure it's going to be in the kitchen. We'll open that up in a second. But that's the quick connect to hook up to the LP system. Now, every one of these jacks, this is just a regular scissor type stabilizer jack. It takes a 3/4 inch crank or socket, and but these have an added feature. It's a strong arm, right? So the thing to remember about the strong arm is when you bring in the jack, I'm trying to back up here a bit, when you bring the stabilizer up and down, when you get it in the down position, you want to tighten this. That way it'll take the forward and rearward movement out. But when you bring it back up, loosen it, of course, to bring it up. And then when you get it up, just snug it up a bit so it doesn't, because it's just threaded in there. You don't want it to rattle loose going down the road. But just remember, when you're going up and down with it, you want to loosen it. And there's, of course, one of these on each corner. So you got 4 of them. These here are just the low point drains. That has to do with winterizing the trailer and de-winterizing it, just so you know that they're there. All right, let me open this up and see what's in here. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Well, actually, this is that quick connect that I spoke to you about. The LP quick connect is for the grill right here. So you hook up the grill there. And of course, you got running water in here, sink, and refrigerator. The refrigerator works on 110 AC, so, and there's no switch for it. So as soon as you plug it in, plug the trailer in, I mean, it will turn on the refrigerator. Okay, so we have a rear door here that goes into the bathroom, the rear bathroom, and then of course it looks like it might go into the just next to the bunk room anyway. All right, so you got a power awning with an LED strip. This is just power here. You got outside speakers. Now this is where you will fill the fresh water tank. Now if you don't have city water on the campsite, you can pre-fill this tank and then just use the electric pump to pump the water. So if you got regular city water, which most places do, you don't have to worry about this at all. But in those instances where you need to carry water with you, you fill it right there. Okay. Also, the drain is that gate valve, that white gate valve right there. That's the drain for it. All right. So you have this vent here is for the range hood. So when you're venting with the range hood, if you have the fan on, you always want to make sure that the baffle inside is pulled free, so it flaps freely. That's when you're venting. When you're not venting, if you're just, if you're traveling or in storage, make sure you keep it snapped shut. Okay, the water heater. This water heater is both gas and electric. Now the switches are inside except for this switch right here. This rocker switch in the lower left-hand corner controls the power to the heating element that's behind this cover here, electric heating element. So you have to flip it on there in order to turn on the electricity. Now you never run the water heater without water in the tank. So you always make sure that you have water in the tank. You do that just by hooking up the city water, and then you can turn, like on the kitchen sink, turn on the hot water. If water comes out solid, then your tank is full. If it comes out, if just air is blowing out, and then it'll be a mixture of air and water as it fills up, and eventually solid water, then you would know it is filled then too. So keep that in mind. Never run it without water in it. So this is your drain plug here, which is also an anode rod, and the other switches are inside. I'll show you that when we get in there. Okay, let's see what else. Your steps fold right into the trailer. You can adjust the legs by just pushing this lever up here. There's one on each side. You can adjust the length of the legs. This is just if you wanted to get a solar panel to charge your battery. This is a Furrion brand here, so that's just where you would plug it in. Okay, so you have a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with automatic or with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that operates when you come to pick up your trailer. Also, you have this small crank here, which is going to be for the tongue jack in case it fails. This is a socket for your drill to run your stabilizer jacks up and down, and this has to do with bringing the awning in an emergency. That's something you really have to read the directions while you're doing it, or look at the online video, that sort of thing. It's very rare that they fail, but just in case it does, you can get out of trouble, you can get home. So that crank I showed you, you pull this plug off and you can put the crank on there and crank it manually. So your power tongue jack can be operated manually in an emergency to hitch up and unhitch, okay? You've got two full LP tanks with an automatic changeover regulator, a deep cycle marine battery, and this is the kill switch for your battery. So when you put it in storage, you can shut the battery off so it doesn't drain down. There's some phantom power in there, like the carbon monoxide and LP gas detector are hardwired to the battery, for example, so it'll always draw energy. So when you put it into storage, just disconnect it. Alright. You have a Lippert slide out. Okay. Your power cord is 30 amps and 30 feet long. It pulls right out of here. Your city water hookup is right here. So 9 times out of 10, you're just going to hook your hose on there, turn it on, and you're pressurized, ready to go. All the plumbing will work. On the times you don't have this, you pre-fill your tank. That shows you on the other side, and turn on your water pump. Okay. This is a black tank flush. So after you dump your black tank, which is toilet water and waste, you can put the hose right on here, turn it on, it'll spray out the inside of your tank. Just remember to leave the black valve open while you're doing that. Okay, here are your valves. That's the black tank valve, toilet water and waste. You have a gray tank valve here and another one there. So you have two, I would say, two gray tanks in this one. Just always dump the black first, then use the gray water to wash it out. It's just cleaner, dirty water than the black water. Okay, and you can use the black tank flush. It's a good thing to do because it also keeps your sensors in the tank clean, so you get a good, reliable reading also. All right. So this housing tells us this is pre-wired for a backup camera. We do sell them here if you're interested. You can talk to our guys up front. Also, while we're looking up, you have to remember that the manufacturer states that you have to inspect the roof every 90 days. So figure once in the spring, once in the middle of summer, once in the fall. You go up there or have somebody else go up there and check all the sealant for cracking or separation. Check the roofing material to make sure no road debris flipped up there or low branches damaged it. Your vent covers, all that sort of thing. So odds are you won't have to do anything when you inspect it, but that's why you inspect it, just to make sure. So if you see an issue, you get it taken care of immediately. All right, oh, they got the furnace running good. Okay, this is your control panel here. So your slide out here and your, let's see what we have here. Let me open the door here so I can see outside. All right, so this one here is your power awning. You can see right there. Never leave the awning out unattended. You always want to keep it in when you're not at the campsite. You don't want the weather to damage it. It'll happen really quickly if it does. Lights here, your water pump I told you about, and to light your water heater on gas. Remember I showed you that there's an electric switch in the lower left-hand corner for the heating element. All right. Your slide out switch here for this main slide out. Okay. And of course you can test your levels. Your battery's charged, fresh water has a little bit in it. Black is empty, gray is empty, and the second gray is empty. Okay. The second gray is a galley tank. It's for the kitchen sink. So you have two gray tanks. Okay. So you have remotes. Here they are right here. This is your fireplace remote here, and this is your soundbar remote. I'll put them over here. So with the fireplace, you can basically, let me show you here. That's low, high. Let's see if you can see that, and off. That's the fan speed. So we're going to put it on high. You can also set the thermostat There's a timer, so you can, you know, if you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you could set this to turn on at 20 to 6 to take the chill out of the room if you wanted to. You can change the appearance of the fire, like so. All kinds of, that's nice there. All kinds of combinations. So there's a lot you can do with it, and it is a good space heater. It works on 110 AC, so you got to be plugged in, but you won't be using up your LP. You know, it'll just, you'll just be using campground electricity. So it's a good feature for sure. Now your sound bar, here's your remote. Of course, I'll just talk you through this one. You got a HDMI in, right? If you wanted to hook up, you got your TV set up here. There's a backing plate right here, by the way. If you got your TV hooked up to it, you can go into the system with a game machine, for example, to keep kids or grandkids busy on a rainy weekend. You would just set it here, plug it in, and go straight into the system there. You can also stream off USB drives. Put all your albums on one stick and bring them with you. It has Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly with your phone or tablet and stream that way. You have 2 speaker zones. One is inside, 2 is outside the trailer. You have FM radio. I think this one's just FM. A lot of them, they've been getting rid of the AM for some reason, but I think this one's just FM. All right, so once again, there's a lot you can do with it. This is just telling us here that this is pre-wired for a Wi-Fi booster. The Wi-Fi booster would have a router that sits here, and it would have an antenna on the roof. There's another panel up on the roof where the antenna would go. So if you're interested in getting better public Wi-Fi, you can go to kingconnect.com or talk to our people, and there are, I think they might have 3 different options. Always go for the one with the antenna on the roof. That's important, okay? Also, this red or green, this green LED is telling us that the signal booster for the antenna is on. All right, so you can just shut it off there. Always when you're using cable TV, you should, if you're having trouble, shut it off like that, so it doesn't interfere. But when you're using the antenna, always have this on, or you won't get a good picture. Okay. All right. So let's move on here. What else have we got? This is where you winterize down here. You can see there's a sticker there, so you'll have the water pump will be down there, plus a hose. It's got a winterizing kit, so you can draw the antifreeze in from there. Also, you have to remember, you always have to change the valves on the back of the water heater when you're winterizing. You have to bypass it before you pump an antifreeze into the system. So you may know all this already. I don't know what your level of knowledge is, but when it comes to trailers, but make sure you bypass the water heater before you put any antifreeze in. If you don't, it leaves a really foul taste. It's nearly impossible to get rid of, so that's why they do that. All right, this is your fan and light. I told you about the baffle outside. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Your range, you spark to light. I hope he's got the gas. Oh, he must have the gas turned on. The heat's running, so let me see. So this is the sparker. You turn this clockwise to spark, like that. So I'll turn on some gas, spark it, and it lights. All right, now, so you got 3 burners in there. This is the oven knob here. Now the oven, all the way at the bottom and to the back, there's a pilot light. I'll spark it for you so you can see it. Okay. What you do is you turn the knob to the picture of the flame, which means pilot. You're going to depress the knob and keep it depressed. Then you're going to spark it with your sparker by turning it clockwise. And after it lights, you're still going to hold this in for another 10 seconds or so. Then you go to operating temperature. It cycles like an oven does. When you're done and you shut it off, obviously the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay? All right. So this is your carbon dioxide LP gas detector. It should always be green. When it goes off, it'll give you 2 self-tests. And also, if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you that your battery's low. Here, let me set it off for you so you can hear the self-test. That's for LP. Next one's carbon monoxide test. And back to green. Like I said, if it was to beep very, very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. Okay, so if that goes off, you take everybody outside. Obviously, you're going to leave the door open, shut the gas off, and figure out what's going on. Alright, this is your thermostat. It's very simple. The bar at the bottom is the mode, so you hit it once to light it up. We're on heat now, but you can just scroll through everything. Try to always use the air conditioner on auto if you can. Okay. The fan they talk about is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. It just circulates air. Okay. So this couch jackknifes flat for a bed. You can pull the poles out of here and it turns into a bed. This device here is your power converter. Give it some more light here. There we go. Your power converter right here. So it converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged in, let me open it up here for you. You have 110 AC on this side and they're all labeled. This is just like circuit breakers like you'd see at home. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. You got 12 volt fuses and they're labeled. If any of those fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up and you can see them through that plastic, so you would know. Also, when you're plugged in, this is a battery tender, so it'll always keep your battery charged when you're plugged in. Okay? Alright, the bathroom. Both bathrooms work the same, so this video or this demo will be for both of them. Sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. The thing to know, if you don't already know this, is that you can't use the toilet dry. By dry, here, there's the pedal there, the flush pedal right there, if you can see it. That's residual water from water testing it. But if city water was hooked up, water will be swirling out and going down into the black tank, which is directly below, right? When I say dry, I'm talking about the black tank. So basically what you do, you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, you come in here, you'll step on the pedal, water will come swirling out, you put about a gallon or so in there. There's no way to tell exactly what that is, you just use sense, common sense, and also you put a dose of your chemical in there. So you always start off, when your black tank is empty, you start off with about a gallon of water or so and chemical each time you use it. Otherwise the smell will be really bad and it also can get clogged up. So always use water and chemical when you're starting off. Okay. Also always run your fan, your roof vent fan with the shower to pull the humidity out of the trailer. Okay, so this is your slide room here. You can't open this here because it's in the way. So this is the bunk room slide here, so I'll send it out. When you hear the ratcheting sound, that's when you take your finger off the button. Like that. Okay, so now we know it's out all the way. So we'll come in here. This couch drops flat, turns into a bed. This, of course, you can flip it up and latch it up here to get it out of the way. This bunk here. You have another bunk there. Obviously, this is the TV area. You have hookups in here for your TV and power. Okay. I'm looking around here. So yeah, so that covers that. Let's see what else we've got here. I think I pretty much went through everything in these two rooms. Let me look in the bedroom and see what we've got up here. Yeah, so the bed, you've got some storage underneath the bed. This is the emergency window. If you don't know, you just push it all the way through if you have to escape, all the way through. And then you would grab this red tab and pull the screen out, and you can escape that way in an emergency, okay? Also, you've got a backing plate here for a TV bracket, and then hookups up here so you can put a TV in this room also. Alright. Okay, so I think that covers it. So thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And always keep in mind that you have to inspect your roof every 90 days. If you can't do it, have somebody go up there and do it. It's very important to inspect your roof and do maintenance on it, okay? Alright, thank you very much.